Let's remember the 1970s. It wasn't just about bell-bottoms and discos. It was a golden age. A time when cars weren't just metal boxes on wheels. They were statements. And the commercials. Oh, they were pure art. This was an era of deep-voiced narrators, epic cinematic shots, and jingles so catchy they're still stuck in our heads decades later. Automakers weren't just competing on the street. They were battling for our hearts and minds right on our living room TV screens. They weren't just selling horsepower. They were selling dreams of freedom, adventure, and undeniable style. So grab your remote, let's adjust the rabbit ears, and rewind through the 10 greatest car commercials of the 1970s. Kicking off our list at number 10 is the 1977 Chrysler Cordoba. One man, a smooth voice, and 2 words that became a cultural phenomenon. Corinthian leather, Ricardo Montalban, with his irresistible charm, sat in a candlelit, almost palatial setting, describing the car's luxurious appointments. He spoke of soft or rich Corinthian leather, making this mid-sized coupe feel like the pinnacle of European luxury. It was pure marketing genius. That leather, it was just a fancy name for standard stuff from a supplier in New Jersey. But it didn't matter. The ad oozed so much sophistication that the Cordoba became an instant icon, a symbol of affordable elegance that America couldn't resist. At number 9, we have a commercial that did the exact opposite of everyone else. In 1970, while other brands were screaming about power and size, Volkswagen whispered with wit. Their ad for the Beetle was a masterclass in honesty. A simple shot of the car with a tagline that said it all. It's ugly, but it gets you there. It was brilliant. Volkswagen completely flipped the script, embracing the car's quirky looks and focusing on what truly mattered to a growing number of buyers: reliability and practicality. This ad didn't need roaring engines or dramatic landscapes. It won over a generation with its clever humor and disarming sincerity, proving that sometimes less really is so much more. Coming in at number 8 is the 1975 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am. If Volkswagen was the quiet kid in the corner, the Trans Am was the loud, rebellious hero of the party. Pontiac's entire brand identity was built around one simple, powerful idea. We build excitement, and this commercial was the perfect embodiment of that promise. We see the Trans Am with its iconic shaker hood and screaming chicken decal tearing up open roads. The sound design was Keitha raw thunder of the V8 engine mixed with an intense cinematic score. This wasn't just a car ad. It was a mini action movie selling a fantasy of pure, unadulterated American rebellion forged in steel. Slicing into our number 7 spot is the 1971 Datsun 240Z. This ad was a game changer. It opened with a bold declaration, so pretty and so potent, and it was right. The 240Z was a beautiful machine that blended sleek European sports car styling with rock-solid Japanese engineering. The commercial showed it carving through scenic roads, highlighting its performance and stunning looks. It was a direct challenge to the established order, proving that you didn't need an expensive, temperamental European badge to get world-class performance and style. For the first time, an affordable Japanese car wasn't just reliable, it was desirable. Viewers were left with a dilemma. Should they hang a poster of it on their wall or rush to a dealer and floor it? At number 6, we have the 1974 Cadillac Fleetwood Talisman, an exercise in pure, unashamed opulence. The tagline was "A symphony of luxury," and the commercial delivered just that. It paired grand orchestral music with poetic, almost reverent narration describing the car's every feature. The camera lingered on deep, plush velvet interiors, acres of gleaming chrome trim, and its sheer commanding size. This was the 70s at its most excessive. The Talisman was more than a car. It was a personal limousine, a rolling statement that you had truly arrived. The ad didn't sell transportation. It sold an experience of ultimate comfort and prestige. Charging into number 5 is the 1973 Chevy Cheyenne pickup with its legendary flaming brakes ad. How do you prove a truck is tough? Chevy decided to prove it with fire. In this unforgettable spot, a Cheyenne pickup is shown hurtling down a steep, winding mountain road, towing a heavy trailer. The driver is riding the brakes the whole way down until they are literally glowing red, hot and smoking. It was a visceral, powerful demonstration of the truck's endurance and stopping power. This wasn't about fancy features or comfortable seats. This was about raw, unapologetic toughness. It became an iconic symbol of American grit and a testament to Chevy's engineering. Cruising into our 4th spot is the 1978 Mercury Cougar XR7. Mercury's tagline for the Cougar was "Elegance in Motion," and this commercial was a perfect visual representation of that idea. It featured lush, soft-focus cinematography and a sweeping orchestral score that made driving the car look like a scene from a Hollywood romance. The focus was on sophistication and lifestyle. It showed well-dressed people enjoying the car's smooth ride, luxurious interior, and effortless power. Mercury wasn't just selling a car, it was selling an aspirational feeling of comfort, style, and personal luxury. It made the Cougar XR7 seem like the ultimate accessory for a successful, stylish life. Now for number 3, the 1970 Pontiac GTO, the Humbler. This commercial is the stuff of legend. Partly because it was so controversial, it was reportedly only aired once. During the Super Bowl, the ad starts with a young guy cruising down a street at night in his brand new GTO. He pulls up to a drive-in, sees some friends, and with a mischievous grin, he flips a switch on the dash. Suddenly, the car's exhaust note transforms from a deep rumble to a deafening, race car-like roar, thanks to a special vacuum-abated exhaust system. The narrator's voice cuts in with pure attitude. The Humbler is here. It was a bold, aggressive, and perfectly 1970s celebration of muscle car culture. Our runner-up at number 2 is another Mercury Cougar XR7 Spot. But this one from 1977 had a secret weapon, Farrah Fawcett. At the height of her Charlie's Angels fame, she was arguably the biggest star on the planet. The commercial is simple. She's at a glamorous photo shoot, surrounded by lights and crew. She turns to the camera, flashes her million-dollar smile, and leans in to ask, "You want to see my XR7?" Of course, America did. The ad then cuts to her driving the sleek coupe, her famous hair blowing in the wind. The combination of Farrah's massive star power and the car's stylish design was an unbeatable formula. It was celebrity endorsement at its absolute peak. And finally, the #1 greatest car commercial of the 1970s is the 1976 Ford Granada. This ad was audacious, brilliant, and incredibly effective. In an era when German luxury cars were seen as the undisputed benchmark of quality, Ford made a shockingly bold move. They directly compared their modest family sedan, the Granada, to a Mercedes. The commercial featured side-by-side comparisons, with a confident narrator pointing out similarities in design and features, all under the tagline, "The closer you look, the better we look." They even had people test drive both blindfolded. It was a masterstroke of marketing that positioned the Granada as a smart, sensible alternative to pricey imports. It gave domestic luxury a whole new level of swagger. And guess what? Sales went through the roof. From the honest humor of Volkswagen to the raw horsepower of Pontiac and the bold confidence of Ford. The 1970s was a truly defining decade for car advertising. These commercials were so much more than just sales pitches. They were short films that sold identity, captured the culture of the time, and peddled dreams of who we could be behind the wheel. They connected with us on an emotional level, and that's why we still remember them today. So, which one of these was your favorite? Or is there another classic ad you think should have made the list? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this trip down memory lane, please give this video a like and hit that subscribe button for more retro rides through automotive history. Thanks for watching.